This is some interesting news. CNN poll. CNN. The Clinton News Network, as they used to call it. CNN poll finds, in this most recent poll, Trump is actually beating Joe Biden. Go to page 16. This is SSRS, which did the survey on behalf of CNN paying for it. And if you go to page 16 of this, where is it? You'll see, there you go. And this is a poll conducted between August 25th and the 31st, last week of August. So this is after the fourth indictment. Head-to-head, Joe Biden, the Democrat, Donald Trump, the Republican. Biden gets 46, Donald Trump gets 47. Now, they just have an other category, right? And you can see only 2% don't plan to vote, so you're getting mostly voters.
Yeah, and those numbers underneath it are pretty interesting, too. Well, pull it back up, Dawson. It's got 36% vote for Biden, but 64% vote against Trump, which shows that the Democrats, they're not really in it to vote for Biden. It's just against Trump. And then on the Republican side, those numbers are basically flipped. 62% for Trump, and then the 37% is anti-Biden. So it goes to show that, Republicans have something to vote for, while the Democrats are just voting against something.
We noticed that at our state fair booth. Like, any hatred towards us was not like these are like big Joe Biden fans. They're just
right.
they assumed we were the Trump booth, and they're like, we hate you because you're Trump booth. Now, that's not us. I mean, this is just what you guys who came up to the booth said, right? Like, I was fine. You could put it Ramaswamy, or as Mega Jesse calls him, Ramaswampy, or the Sanctimonious.
or as that one guy said, Rasami.
Rasami.
Yeah.
So today, because you have that there, right? So Trump is the thing, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to take that jar out, what do you think would have happened? If his jar,
I think probably Vivek and DeSantis, but I think a lot of people go Vivek Ramaswamy just because of the Ukraine issue, because he's the most hardcore on ending the wars.
And this is following the first debate, too. So Ramaswamy, I don't know.
Yeah, but
wasn't
he more or less a rhino in the past?
There's some allegations out there for sure of that he supported masks
actually.
And all kinds of stuff.
Would you say apolitical?
He supported masks? Where was that?
Yeah, that was that's out there. There's all kinds of different stuff between the connections to George Soros and all kinds of World Economic Forum. But he actually does have on his website a section that he says debunks a lot of these things. Some of it's some good information. Some of it is just explaining it. But
here's where I'm at, Craig, and I think we've talked about this a lot. Like, I'm in that category. Like, the best our country could do is a 77-year-old versus an 80-year-old, right? Sorry to be an ageist here, but come on. Like what was Kennedy at 45 or something like that when he was president? Even Clinton was under 50 at the time of presidency. Our founding fathers were like in their 30s. And now we've got one guy who clearly age has overtaken him. Trump's still pretty, cognitively there, but 77 years old, so he's going to be his age as he's retiring. So this is the best we get. Plus, so polarizing figures. It's like, I am fine with another person. I would have appreciated a different contest this time, right? But damn, those indictments, I'm like, this stuff is bullshit. And it puts me in this where I understand where people are at. I'm kind of like, yeah, even if I'm not like the biggest Trump fan, putting Fauci in charge and all the other issues like increasing the monetary supply and creating inflation, I'm like, another damn protest vote against the deep state and the corporate media. That's my support for Trump.
So is all the indictments, right? He's kind of the underdog. Trump is the underdog in the court cases, right? He's constantly being beat on, right? And my wife Robin's a huge Alabama fan. Roll Tide.
Okay.
And I watch college football, something to do, right? And one day I think they're playing LSU and the underdog. LSU scored, and I don't know if it was just natural reflex or what. I went, yeah. Oh yeah, that was a bad. Oh man, that was a bad.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think inertly we cheer for the underdog.
Yeah.
Just subconsciously even, right? And so Trump being beat on in all these indictments, he's kind of the underdog against, and so society, I think, is just going to gravitate to that and say, oh, don't pick on a little kid.
Right. Yeah, I think
there is
you're
something
right.
about America that we like the underdog. Maybe it's because we were the underdogs in the Revolutionary War. I don't know. Maybe it goes back to then.
Well, it's just kind of the American dream. It's that story that everybody wants to hear. And, I think the reason that CNN probably put out this poll is they do these kinds of things. The mainstream media was even doing these things in 2020 where, they were showing these close polls, and they do it because they want to get these Democrats scared and fired up, and, they want to make sure these Democrats come out to vote against Trump. So I think that's why CNN puts out a poll like that, because it shows the Democrats he is still a threat. He can still win, which a lot of them don't want to admit, but it's completely true. He is, more likely than Biden right now to win the White House, and that scares the living hell out of these Democrats.
Mm-hmm.